A very fine morning, my dear students. Hope you all will be fine by the grace of God. Students, today we will continue with the same chapter, that is chapter 3rd of Science 1 Standard 10th. So, before starting today's lecture, let us recall what we have learned in our previous lecture. In our previous lecture, we have learned about types of chemical reactions as combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, etc. In today's lecture, we will learn about endothermic and exothermic process, endothermic and exothermic reactions, factors which are affecting the rate of chemical reaction, catalyst, etc. Children, today again whatever the omitted contents are there, that I will cancel out. So now let us start our explanation. Then you have to see one video regarding these chemical reactions. Students, we are going to start from this endothermic and exothermic process. So first let me tell you what are the endothermic process and what are the exothermic process. Then I'll show you one video. In that you can see how we come to know that which reactions are endothermic and exothermic. The heat is absorbed and sometimes it is given out in various process and reactions. So according to that process and reactions, these reactions and process are classified as endothermic or exothermic. So here endothermic and exothermic process, we will see that heat from outside is absorbed during some physical changes. For example, we can see melting of ice, dissolution of potassium nitrate in water, etc. So these are endothermic process because here heat is absorbed. And if we'll see that some reactions heat is given out. So for example, formation of ice from water, dissolution of sodium hydroxide in water. So in this process, the heat is given out. That is why they are called as the exothermic process. Now, children, in this process of dilution of concentrated sulfuric acid with the water, very large amount of heat is liberated. So, we can see as a result the water get evaporated instantaneously. So, if it is poured into the concentrated sulfuric acid, that may cause the accident because concentrated sulfuric acid is very hot. And to avoid this, what we have to do, that the amount of water is taken in a glass container and small quantity of concentrated sulfuric acid is put drop by drop at a time, and we have to stir it. So only small amount of heat is liberated during this time. Now children, here we'll see that this you have to underline. This all you have to underline. Now here this all is cancelled for you, children. So now we have to see this process. Before that, already I told you what are the endothermic and exothermic reaction. Just watch out a video, children. So children, this is the first reaction we will see. This is between the hydrogen chloride and magnesium Br1. Just see here how the reaction is taking place. Here every time we have to check the temperature. According to that we have to finalize, we have to consider that which reaction is the exothermic and which reaction is endothermic. So we have to write whatever the result we are getting, we have to write. See how magnesium Br1 is put in hydrochloric acid. See the reaction. Here the temperature will rise. See the temperature. So temperature rise means here it will be exothermic reaction because heat is given out, that is why temperature is raised. Now second one we will see hydrochloric acid reacting with the sodium hydrogen carbonate. See how the other reaction is taking place. Again we will note down the temperature before doing reaction and after doing reaction. The thermometer is put in that. See the temperature. You have to note down this also. Then the third reaction is with copper sulfide and zinc. We have to stir it so that complete reaction takes place, and we have to note down the temperature before reaction and after reaction. How the temperature is raising. Here new substance, that zinc sulfate will be formed here. See how the temperature is raised. Let us see the fourth reaction, that is between this ammonium chloride and water. Let us see the reaction. Now we will see the fifth reaction. Now in fourth reaction we have added ammonium chloride. Again we will take the temperature. After this we will see the fifth reaction. In this reaction, the temperature is little bit lowered. Now, let us see the fifth reaction. The fifth reaction is between the copper sulfide and magnesium. Again, we have to see the temperature. Let us see these reactions. Endothermic and exothermic reactions. So there is an exchange of the heat in chemical reaction. So according to that, some chemical reaction are exothermic and some are endothermic. So during the exothermic chemical reactions, heat is given out, while we can see that some are endothermic. In during that reaction, the heat is absorbed. So while during the endothermic, we can see when the product is formed, then heat is absorbed. Here we will see some example of the endothermic and exothermic reactions. So first one we will see here CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate plus heat. So that means calcium carbonate, when we are heating, we are getting CaO, that is calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So why S is written? Because it is in solid form, and here G is written, that means it is gaseous form. Again here calcium oxide react with the water. Water is L, mean liquid. It will give the product as calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice, that will be in the aqueous form, plus heat. So it is as exothermic reaction, and first was the endothermic reaction. So children, we can see here the example of the exothermic and endothermic reactions. Now children, this part is cancelled for you. Then this also, can you tell, this also is cancelled for you full. Now we'll see here that from the above example, we can see that some reaction are completed within the short time, and some are while some are taking long time. So it means that some occur rapidly and some reactions are very slow reactions. So it means that rate of different reaction is different. So to study this, which factor are affecting the rate of reaction, we will see now one factor, that which factors are affecting the rate of chemical reaction. So one by one we will see here children. Let us see the first one. That you might have seen that when we are making the curd, so during winter it takes long time to settle the milk into curd, while in case of the summer season, the rate of settling of the milk into curd increases. That means it is little bit fast in comparison of the winter season. So let us see the factors now. Here are the factors we are going to study. First one is the nature of reactants. Now, it depends on the nature of the reactant, that which type of the reactant is there. For example, just I am giving you example that one a student is very quiet. He is calm. He or she just uh, thinking that if anybody come to fight with her or with him, then they are thinking, "Arey, okay, let's go. Why to fight?" But some are very arrogant type. That mean if anybody will come na, if they will tell one, then the other will tell two. So that means it depends on the nature. Same way here, some metals or some elements or some chemicals react very fast and some react very slow. So same way it depends on the nature of the reactants. For example, we can see here that we have taken two metals, aluminium and zinc, and we have to react them with dilute hydrochloric acid. On the reaction, we will see that this both aluminium and zinc react with dilute hydrochloric acid, and they give out the hydrogen gas. And these are the water soluble salt of these metals are formed. After reaction, water soluble salts of these metals are formed. So we'll see that the reaction of aluminum metal takes place faster in comparison of the zinc metal. Why? Because the nature of metal is responsible for this difference. Aluminum is more reactive than the zinc. So this point you have to note down, children. It is a very important point that aluminum is more reactive than the zinc. Therefore, the rate of reaction with hydrochloric acid of the aluminum is more fast than the zinc. So, nature of reactivity of reactant influences the rate of chemical reaction. Now, next is the size of the particle of the reactant. So what you have to take, that you have to take Shahabad tile, and in one test tube you have to put in two test tube you have to put HCl, dilute HCl, but in one test tube you have to put the pieces of the Shahabad tile, while in the other test tube you have to put the powder of the Shahabad tile, and you just observe the reaction. Effervescence of the carbon dioxide are formed. We can see what is the meaning of effervescence. Mean vapors, what vapors are coming now. So water vapor, or the how the fumes are coming, so that way it will come out. So let us see now that here we can observe that the rate of reaction will be faster in case of the powdered the Shahabadi tile. So what does it mean? That the smaller the size of the reactant particle, higher will be the rate of the reaction. So this we have to underline. This full we have to underline. Let us see the next one, that is concentration of the reactant. So here we will see that in one test tube we have to take the dilute hydrochloric acid, while in the other we have to take concentrated. Concentrated mean pure form, and dilute mean where the water is mixed. So but natural, that dilute hydrochloric acid will react slowly. So here we have to put a calcium carbonate in the test tube where we have taken the dilute HCl or dilute hydrochloric acid. So here the calcium carbonate disappears slowly and the carbon dioxide gas will release. Now on the other hand, if you'll see, then in second test tube where we have taken the powdered one, where we have taken the concentrated hydrochloric acid, so there calcium carbonate will disappear fast. Why? Because that is the concentrated one. Na? Concentrated means pure one. So your concentrated acid react faster than the dilute acid. So it means that the reaction rate of reaction is proportional to the concentration of the reactant. So this point you have to underline, children. This is important point. Now T is temperature of the reaction. While we are studying this, that time we have to see the temperature of the reactions also. That if we are providing the temperature, then the reaction will be fast, and if we are not providing the temperature, then reaction will be slow. So that we have to consider. So it depends on the temperature also. For example, we can see that the lime water does not turn milky before heating the lime stone, while because of the zero rate of reaction. So when we heat it, then it turns lime water milky. So the rate of reaction increases with the increasing temperature. So this point you have to underline. So this is important point, children. So hope you might understood these all four factors. Let us see the catalyst. Now we'll see the catalyst. So here is the reaction. Here on heating potassium chlorate, the formula for potassium chlorate is 2KClO3. This 2KClO3, here this sign is for heating. We are heating, then what will be formed? Potassium chloride and oxygen. Oxygen gas will come out or liberated. So the rate of the above reaction neither increases by reducing the particle size nor by increasing the reaction of the temperature. Anyway, we'll see that potassium chlorate decomposes rapidly in presence of the manganese dioxide or MnO2, and the oxygen gas is liberated out. So here no chemical change takes place with the MnO2 or manganese dioxide in this reaction. What does it mean? So how we will define it, children? We'll see here. See this point, it is very important. See this point. The substance in whose presence the rate of chemical reaction changes without causing any chemical change to it is called a catalyst. So this point you have to underline that it is catalyst is a substance whose mere presence just increases the rate of reaction, but it don't react with any of the reactant. That means the substance in whose presence the rate of a chemical reaction changes without causing any chemical change to it is called the catalyst. So now we'll see the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen takes place slowly at the room temperature, and the same reaction occur faster if we add manganese dioxide powder to it. So this is the second example of the second example of the catalyst presence. So this way we can see, children, that how the catalyst is useful to this chemical reaction. Now this do you know is cancel out for you. This full is cancel out for you, children. So children, here I am ending my lecture. In next lecture we will start from oxidation and reduction reaction. I am taking slowly so that you can understand properly, children. So understand nicely whatever important point are there that you have to write down in your 100 pages book. Already I told you. Then whatever chemical reactions are there, that you practice at least 5 to 10 times, and so many time you have to practice, because in this chemical reaction if you'll write in correct way, the main thing is that whatever the symbol you are writing, that should be written in correct way, and the chemical equation should be balanced. The sign, like and in the bracket what we are writing, solid, liquid, gaseous, aqueous form, or the gas is liberated out, that sign, arrow sign, then if it is plus heat, that everything, or we are showing a small triangle on the arrow, whatever is there in that reaction, that you have to write properly, so that you can get full marks. If little bit problem is there, that means suppose it is 2KClO3, so here K will be capital, C will be capital, but L will be small. If you write L also capital and full reaction is correct, you will get 0. So this is the main thing, that you have to practice the reaction, because here nothing to learn, only one sentence of the reaction you have to learn and you will get full marks. So it is better to learn, children, nicely this reaction and practice this reaction, so that you can get full marks. So work hard and try to score good marks. Thank you, children. Here I am ending my lecture. Hope you all might have enjoyed the lecture and every concept might have clear to you. If any problem, you can message me. And next turn we will start from this oxidation and reduction reaction.